Hello children, today I'm here to explain you all the poem The Fog. So before going after the poem, let me introduce the poet here. W H Davies was one of the most well-known poet of his times. Most of the poetry was on the subject of nature. So his most of the poems are based on the nature itself and life on the road and his own tampering adventure and people he met. The, his poem employ a simple and a natural style to create special effect. So he has always a special effect on his poem. What kind of a special effect it is? It is nothing but the realistic nature. So whatever there in the most probably, as I already told you, that he just follow up the nature very well, and he writes up on the subject of nature more in number. So that's the reason here his poems are very realistic and very simple enough. So this which creates a very special effect. So in this particular poem, the speaker, that is a blind man, and the other fellow who could not find the way. The fellow who could not find the way was helped by a blind man. The speaker he finds himself in a fog so thick that he loses his sense of direction. In the sense, he has lost his way. To whom? He is then played by a man out of a fog to his home. So a fellow helped to come out of the fog and to find the way of his home. But only after reaching home, he realizes that man who led him could not see. So after reaching home, the fellow who has lost his way, then he realized that he has the fellow who has helped him is a blind man. So how could a blind man help out the fellow who can clearly see in mid of the fog? So that is the base of this poem. So let's go line by line. So I'll be helping you out for understanding the things. So let me read out the fog. The fog. I saw the fog. I saw the fog grow thick, which soon made blind my ken. It made tall men of boys and giants of tall men. So here it says that I saw the fog grow thick, in the sense the fog was very heavy, so the other side of the place was not at all visible, which soon made blind my ken. Ken, it's nothing but vision. So everything goes on blind. He cannot see anything. A kind of a white thing has been spread out of his eyes, but nothing can be seen. It made tall men of boys and giants of tall men. So whatever the physical stature of a man is, that won't be helpful. So that is what the particular present situation of the fellow who is just experiencing the thick fog here. So that he cannot see, and a kind of a white spread have been spread out throughout his eyes, and he cannot see anything. It clutched my throat. I coughed. Yes, something has been clutched up and held very tightly. He has just hold up his breath very tightly throughout his throat, and he coughed to get breathe. Nothing was in my head, so nothing was there in the fellow's help. So the main thing is he has to come out of the thickest fog, except two heavy things. So what is that? That is a ice. So he is just telling nothing on his head. So he was feeling very weightage of only two heavy ice ball. So it's like a ball of burning lead. So he has compared of his ice like a ball of burning lead. So let me go with the second stanza once again. So he says that he has just hold on his breath, and he just coughed to get the air in within him, and nothing was there in him, so he was not feeling anything except his two heavy eyes, which he has compared to a ball of burning. And when it grew so black that I could know no place, I lost all judgment then of distance and of space. So when it appears to be a black, in the sense he could not breathe and he cannot see at all, so he was feeling so suffocated in that particular place. So he just lost his sense in which place he is standing, and to recognize judgment, it's nothing but it's recognition of the place and the distance of the space he has to go for it, and it is nothing but his destiny. So there he lost his way. By this we have to understand that he just totally forgot which place he has to go and where he is particularly in. And then in this situation, what the fellow will be doing? So he is not able to breathe, he is not able to see, and he has just forgotten where he has to go and which particular place he is in now. So let's see how the surrounding of his place are. The surrounding is the street lamps and the lights upon the halted cars could either be on earth or be the heavenly stars. So the surrounding of him are being there. They are the street lamps and the lights over there, and he can see there the halted cars. Halted cars are nothing but the cars which are forcefully stopped because they could not move further because it was very cold enough, and the people over there are suffering from the cold and they could not find their homes too. So the cars, the street lamps are just a kind of a stuck on to the fellow now. A man passed by me close. I asked my way. He said, "Come, follow me, my friend." I followed where he led. So he just led his hand for helping out, and he said that to follow me, and he just followed like a small kid by holding up the hand of the blind man. So, and then he just followed up the fellow's way. He wrapped the stones in front. "Trust me," he said, "and come." I followed like a child. A blind man led me home. So finally, the sense of knowledge where he has lost already, so that was bought by the blind man here, and he was just wrapping up the stones, and he was walking in mid of the stones and in the mid of the fog, and he's just giving out a confidence just to trust him and come along with him. He was just following up the blind boy like a child. Blind man led me home. So after reaching up the home, he realized that the fellow who has helped me, that was a blind man. How did a blind man help the fellow who can literally see clearly? That is what the magic. See, children, where there is a will, there is a way. We have a vision of our inner eyes. The inner soul will be directing the way for our home and even the destiny, right? So here, though he has a stick as blind man is holding off, but as I already told you, some inner sense will be guiding us within us to lead in a right way. So this is what the moral, what we have to understand. And one more thing, what we have to understand is, you should not underestimate anybody, especially the people who are physically challenged. This fellow is a blind, but he has helped. So think about it. So that's it for today, and please do read the poem and have a good revision. So I'll be meeting you up in a very new video, and till by then, happy learning.